Good afternoon. My name is Rob Burns, and I'm here to present on the Grand Canal dredging project. Please note this recording was re-recorded after the public meeting held in late February, as the original recording did not take. So this is a re-recording after the fact. Again, this presentation will cover the Grand Canal dredge project. This slide provides an overview of the Grand Canal project. The goal of this project is to improve navigation within Grand Canal, which is located in Tierra Verde in the south part of Pinellas County. As you can see with my cursor on the right, in the picture to the right, you can see Grand Canal and where it connects to Paso Grill. We will be mainly dredging the lower portion of Grand Canal, where it's closer to Paso Grill channel. The project is anticipated to start in spring of 2024. We anticipate the contractor starting mobilization on April 21st, with waterward equipment mobilization occurring the week after, and dredging eventually starting beginning of May. We anticipate approximately 13,000 cubic yards removed. Project should take 3 to 4 weeks, maybe a few weeks longer if the weather doesn't cooperate. And the dredge sands will be placed on Paso Grill Beach. On this side, we have the design for the Grand Canal dredge. Design started in July of 2020, and focus of the design was dredging Grand Canal proper due to infill. So here again is the footprint of the dredge project. So this red area is the channel that we're going to be dredging. The blue checked area is the deposition basin that we will not be constructing at this time due to seagrass growth in the area, and which I'll talk about in the next few slides. We coordinated with the Army Corps to see about incorporating this project into the larger Corps project, where they're renourishing Paso Grill Beach. At this time, the Corps is not doing that renourishment, so the county decided to do this project ourselves. Final design only calls again for the dredging of Grand Canal itself. It will be dredged to 150 feet wide, 3,000 feet long, and to a depth of 11.5 feet. There are a few areas where we will not be able to maintain that 150 foot wide channel. There's some areas of seagrass growth right here where my cursor is, as well as down here at the bend. There's some accretions of sediments that are made upland, and we cannot go ahead and dredge in any portion that's become upland. So this is what you're seeing will actually take place this year, just the dredging of this portion of the channel. As mentioned on the previous slide, we had to modify our design a little bit because of the encroachment of the seagrass resource into our design template. So you can see here where my cursor is, you can see some of the seagrass that's actually encroaching into the channel itself. It's on the side slope of the channel. We're going to try to avoid any impacts to that seagrass, but we will be dredging all other areas. So this complicated our permitting some, required additional conditions to ensure protection of the resource. This also limited the scope of the project to avoid impacting that resource. So that at this time, we're not going to go ahead and create the deposition basin, which is outlined in blue here, because of the amount of seagrass in the area. Quick snapshot of our permitting efforts. We obtained both state and federal permits. The permits allow for the periodic dredging within the template, which again was that red area. The canal can be dredged to a negative 11.5 feet NAVD, and the placement of beach compatible sands is anticipated to go on the southern portion of Paso Grill Beach. To the right, you can see the cover pages of both of our permits, the state permit from Florida Department of Environmental Protection and the Department of Army permit. Now on to construction. Again, the anticipated start date will be spring of 2024. With now we've pinned it down more that the contractor will be out and start mobilization on April 21st, and will likely start dredging the first full week of May. We anticipate the project to take up to 4 to 6 weeks, maybe sooner, depends on the weather. If it rains or we have winds, it's going to slow their progress down. They only anticipate working during daytime hours for this part of the project, and will be Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week. The canal will not be shut down during operations. We will ask boaters take precautions. There will be some notices put up for boater safety precautions, and there will also be markings showing where the dredge line is and other things that boaters need to be aware of for their safety and the safety of the contractor. Again, dredge stands will be placed on Paso Grill Beach. You can see over here on the beach side, we're trying to put some sand down about 400 feet long section of beach down south of the snack shack, hoping that that'll add some sand width down to that area. Environmental monitoring will occur immediately after dredging and will also take place during the project. And that's all I have. If you have any information, I can be contacted at 727-453-3149. And again, my name is Rob Burns. I can also be reached at B as in boy, URNES at Pinellas.gov. And on the screen, you'll also see the address for the Grand Canal Dense Channel Dredging Project webpage. You can go here for more information. We'll have the aid to navigation up as well as schedule changes as they arise. And that's all I have for you all today. With this, I will go ahead and respond to some questions that were asked during the meeting just to make sure that we have all of those covered. During the course of the meeting, we had several people ask about the anticipated start date. And while we said during the meeting in February that the anticipated start date was in spring of 2024, we now have better information. And again, we anticipate starting on April 21st or 22nd with mobilization for 2 weeks, followed by dredging occurring in the first full week of May. There was also a question asked, will the channel be navigable during dredging? And the answer is yes, the channel will be navigable during dredging. The contractor will provide notices and aids to navigation to allow for safe transit in the channel while they are doing active dredging and other operations related to the project. So we'll just ask that boaters maintain a idle speed and pay attention to the surroundings as they're going on so that we can ensure everyone's safety. Another question was, will the channel be, are you going farther north in the channel? No, we were only going up to about 200 feet up into the channel. Most of the material was situated closer to the lower portion, closer to Paso Grill. There was also a question about, will the total length be 3,000 feet and be made 150 foot wide, particularly at the bend area? Unfortunately, there is a spit of sand that has accreted above the mean high water line. The state recognizes that as the property of the adjacent landowner, and therefore we cannot do any work on private property that has been gone above the mean high water line. We'll continue to monitor that situation and see if it continues to narrow up the Grand Canal. We can look at see what our options are at that point. So we'll continue to monitor it, but at this point we are not able to do any work on uplands areas as those are private property. There are other question, how is this project funded? This project was funded through ARPA, through the federal government BIL funding. So therefore, we will not be doing the assessment that we originally had thought. We would be assessing the residents of Grand Canal. We will not be having to do that as this was funded by ARPA funding. What are the times of dredging was a question. The dredging times are typically going to be daylight hours, 7 to 7, 6 days a week. We'll have more information on that as the contractor provides us their information, their submittals related to all of that work. Will this require staging equipment in Shell Key? No, we will avoid staging any equipment in Shell Key. All of our equipment will mainly be staged either in the water or on land over on the Paso Grill Beach. What post-construction monitoring will be done, and how often will it be done? We will conduct post-construction monitoring per permit. We have several monitoring events that will have to happen upwards of 3 years post-dredging. We will also look at within Grand Canal itself. We'll keep an eye and look at the infill that's going on after we've done our work. There's a question of, do we know if the sand is filling in as quickly as it has over the last few years? There are some indications that the sand infill in this area has slowed down. One of those indications is through the presence of seagrass. If the sand was staying at the rate it was, where we were getting multiple inches up to feet of sand coming into an area in a short period of time, you would not be able to have that seagrass resource that we're seeing there now, because it would be covered up by the sand or scoured away. So something has changed in this area that's allowing for that seagrass now, and likely we're seeing less sand. We'll continue to monitor this and go from there as we get a better idea of what exactly is going on. And I believe that was all of the questions we really had. Again, to reiterate, the project will start on April 21st. We anticipate it to take 4 to 6 weeks. Dredging will begin in the beginning of May, and we're hoping to be done by Memorial Day weekend. If there are any changes, please go to the website, and that will be the best way to stay informed. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.